I'm Takari Racquel, and I am the domestic violence survivor. I met my abuser when I was about 22. It was during the pandemic. I had just moved to a new state. I didn't know anybody. And one of my best friends knew this guy. So she kind of like put in a good word for him. She was like, oh, he will help you out and like be your shoulder to cry on since you're in a new state and you're by yourself or whatever. He got my number through my phone, and then we started like communicating, and then he would just start hanging out a whole bunch. He was taking me on dates. Everything was like cute. I still wasn't feeling him. The first red flag was that like he would not go home. He would never go home. He would come over to like help me build my couch and table, but then afterwards he would just like be asleep. About maybe 4 months into dating, everything like happened. At first he started with like paying rent, and then he was just giving me $10,000 if I asked for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, just flooding my bank account with like money, giving me cash. But after he gave me probably maybe $50,000, he just started talking to me a little bit crazy and started getting aggressive and like telling me that I have to do things I didn't want to do. Like he was saying, you have to come out to eat with me tonight, or you have to come do this because I just gave you X amount of dollars. Like there's no way around it. You need to give me all the money back if you do not come tonight on this date. I just started crying immediately. Like the first conversation, I just like switched, so I just started crying. I was like, oh. I felt powerless. I wasn't much scared at the time. It was just like powerless because I was like feeling like on top of the world, and then he just like snatched that feeling from me. Like, oh, bro, you belong to me. And if he called me, I have to answer the phone right then and there. If he asked me to meet him somewhere, I have to drop what I'm doing to meet him there. He was controlling as far as what I would be wearing. He was controlling as far as who I would maybe potentially look at whenever we're in public, even though they're just eyeballs, but things like that. He was really controlling in all aspects. He asked me to go make him some breakfast, and I didn't want to go make him any breakfast because I wasn't that comfortable. So he dragged me out the bed, and I'm holding on to the bed pole, and he's literally yanking me. We're fighting back and forth, and then I end up getting dragged out the bed. He slapped me against the wall and choked me and like washed my hair off my head. After about 30 minutes of crying, I got up and I made the breakfast. He came into the kitchen after his breakfast was done, and he handed me a bunch of money. He was like, here, go to the spa. I was just like silent. Anytime he would like hit me or say anything like verbally abusive, I would just like be like checked out like mentally, and I would just be like silent, just there. So every day I just hope and assume we'll have a good day because it would start off good normally, and then sometimes we just had a really, really bad day, and then there was like no coming back from that bad day, and then I would reflect on the day and I'll be like, there was no like seeing that coming from him. And every day I had to worry about whether or not I was going to get him based off if I triggered him that day. One day we were at the beach having a good beach day, and we were all standing outside drinking, him and his homeboys, and he thought that I was staring at one of his homeboys, but I was just like being aware of my surroundings because we were in public, and he thought that I was looking at somebody. So he walked over and he choked the guy he thought I was looking at, and then he choked me until like I could almost like not breathe, and then he pushed me onto the guy, and then he grabbed my earring and he crushed the earring up like a soda can and pulled it to split my earring hole, and there was a bunch of blood everywhere, and I was in lots of pain. He tells me, he's like, my homegirls are gonna jump you, so you need to get in the car unless you want to fight everybody. I'm just going to get into the car just because like I didn't want to escalate anything. I was like completely embarrassed because not only did he pull my earring and like crush it up, he like pushed me onto the car, and I had these white shorts on, and he knew that I was on my period, so like he like pushed my shorts into my and like pulled my tampon out. There were cops, they were like on the way, just because there was a lot of like commotion going on after, and like big fights and things that broke out from that initial fight. And then best friend, he like made us like speed off and drive so that the cops wouldn't like get involved. In the back of my head, I always was like, I'm gonna handle the situation and get myself through the situation, to stay strong, like, you know, it's gonna be over eventually. I'm really like detached, and I was detached the entire time, so I guess it was like scary, but it just kind of became normal to me. And I did like text pictures of his license and stuff to a few of my homegirls, and I was like, if anything happens to me, like, this is who hurt me, and you know, whatever. But that was just always in the fight mindset. his friends all have the same birthday as him. Like, so they have this big mansion party. So we get to the party. And again, I'm looking cute. Anytime I look cute, like he had like an excuse to be mad. So he was like, I had these heels on, like 4, 5 inch heels. He was like, kept knocking me down onto the ground. I'm like, hey, stop knocking me to the ground. We do it like 4 or 5 times. And then he was like, come to the bathroom with a talk to you. So I go to the bathroom and then he won't let me out of the bathroom. Like, I'm like screaming, like, let me out of the bathroom. Like, what are you doing? Let me stay in the bathroom for like 10 minutes. Then afterwards, I think he asked me to pour him a drink and I didn't want to pour him a drink. And so then he choked me out for like 3 minutes and then like we separated. And then like at the end of the night, he asked me to do something else, like maybe get him another drink. And then it escalated and he just kept choking me. He had both of his hands on me. Like we started in the kitchen and then he just dragged me all the way to the bedroom and he kept choking me and I'm screaming really loud. Everybody in the party is coming and they're just staring at him and I'm just like, why are y'all just staring at him? And then he has this one friend and I'm looking, he's closest to me and I'm like reaching for him. I'm holding his hand. I'm like, forget what you feel about him. Please get him. I'm really about to die. And like the next day, my neck was like so, there was no like bruises on my neck, but it was really sore. Like, so I guess invisible bruises. He was getting ready to go out of town, and the night prior, he took me out to eat. Just as I'm about to go out of town for a few weeks type deal. So in my head, I'm like, yes, finally, it's gonna be me, my dog, and my apartment. And then we end up getting that night. We end up going back home, and then once we got back home, he just started like tripping on me, and he just started like just destroying everything in my apartment. And then in that moment, I knew like he was like having another one of these episodes, and I knew the next day like it was gonna like be gone for a few weeks. So I was trying my best to like just keep it cool. So I'm just unfazed. It's like throwing things and breaking TVs, and I'm just like, okay. I'm saying out loud, okay, I'll just buy another one. Like very dismissive. He's like, oh, okay, well, buy another one of this too. And it breaks down. I'm just like, okay, I'm just making a list in my head of things I gotta buy, and then and then going outside and I get in a hot tub and I call my dad because even though we're not like close, my dad is somebody that I can like, if I talk to him, he will like calm me down maybe, or he might give me some insight. So I end up keeping it together. I go back inside and I go to sleep. And I'm like, we're drinking, so I didn't think anything about my phones. Like, I had 2 phones. I didn't think anything about them. And then I go to sleep and passed out. And he said that he was, like, screaming my name in the morning time, but I didn't hear it. But I was, like, sleeping. Like, so I ended up waking up because I felt something on my body that was burning. I'm like, yo, what the f*** is this? And then I'm looking up. Like, I'm like, have crest in my eyes. So I'm, like, looking up. And then he has, like, some pot with some liquid in it, and it like all over my freaking body, and he's like laughing at me, and he's like, I went through your phone, who is this guy and who is this guy? And I'm just screaming, and I'm like not even acknowledging when he's asking me. I'm just like asking a question over and over. I'm like, why are you burning me? Like, why am I burning? Where are you pouring on my body? And I asked him like 5, 6, 7 times. Like, it's just like a broken record. Like, why am I burning? What is this? Like over and over. And then I just started like screaming at that point. I'm just like tripping. And then he was like, I went through your phone and I see you texting a bunch of guys, and a bunch of guys are texting you and things like that. I'm just like, bro, but why am I freaking burning? Like, why are you burning me? And then he ended up taking my phones and my laptop. And he already like destroyed pretty much a lot of things in my apartment. He ended up taking my phone and my laptop. Then I really just started like freaking out. And then I'm like, all right, you got it, come on. Let's go. Or you gonna have to like, I'm not having so much like, what do you call it, adrenaline. I'm not even like really feeling all the way the pain. I'm still in pain, but I'm like not even, I'm just like, no, today is the day. Like I have been like holding on for so long, just waiting for you to like leave on your own account and just like for everything to just naturally be okay. But no, right now, you gotta get your stuff up out of here. So I just like throw this stuff into the hallway, and then the cops came, and then that's when y'all went to jail for a few days, and then got out of jail. So I ended up screaming. I'm like showing him my body. I'm like, yo, and then I'm showing him my phones and stuff. I'm like, yo, he burned me. This is how he burned me. This is why he burned me. These are my objects that he destroyed. And then they ended up immediately like arresting him. So he went to jail for like 2 or 3 days, and then he ended up bailing out in the middle of the night while I was like riding around with my homegirl, just like trying to like, you know, be happy and be free. And I came home and all my stuff was gone. When I came home and seen that everything was gone out of my apartment, I just knew it was crazy. So I ended up leaving my apartment that night. and I just moved states. I didn't have any clothes or shoes, so I had to I was homeless for like 2 months, like just trying to get back on my feet all the way. Because I was like in a nice apartment, I had to get another apartment, like so financially and emotionally, like I went through it for like a few months. I have scars all over the backside of my body now. They're kind of like cute now, but like at first they wasn't that cute. But I just tried to cover them. It didn't affect my career, but it affected my confidence at first. But after I felt like I was confident again, I might go to a casting, and they put me in like this swimsuit for one of the shows. One of the shows I was doing, and one of the dressing assistants looked at me and he looked at the designer and he was like, look at her legs. And then in my head, I was like, excuse me? And then the designer was like, if she's fine with it, I'm fine with it. But that right there was like, kind of like emotional for me because why would you say that? So I was diagnosed with PTSD. Before I was diagnosed with it, I would be having a conversation with my homegirl on the street. We'll be eating food, and then if I see something that would trigger me or remind me of that relationship, I would take off running, literally running. I would text her and I felt safe, and I'd be like, "Oh, meet me at my house. I'm right here. Meet me at this bar." I have to run, and they already knew what was up when I started running. Or when I would be asleep, still to this day, if I don't take my medication that's prescribed to me, I have nightmares where he's choking me, and I wake up and I'm I think I'm being choked. I'm sorry. My advice to anybody that's going through domestic violence: run the first time. Don't let them know that you're running. Run silently, girl. Run, or guy, run. First time, the second time, it's not gonna get better. You think it's gonna get sweet, but it's not gonna get sweet. So just keep running with your head high. Move states if you got to. But you gotta keep running. I try my best to not let anything affect my energy that doesn't need to affect my energy. Things I can't control, I don't let that affect my energy. So somebody not liking me or wanting to put their hands on me, I can't control that other than removing myself from that situation. So if I can't help the situation, I just don't let that get me down. I always try to stay positive because even though what you're going through is horrible, there's somebody that's going through something 10 times worse that wish they could be going through what it is that you're going through. And people that you think are going through nothing, they going through a lot too. So just keep blessed and stay focused on your story, your body, your life.